What the heck?
작게 입어.
엄마
Hello?
Sky, buddy.
What are you guys
You know what's coming.
But he has
That's where we're going.
We're going to take him. You can follow us. We have no issue. Okay, we'll discuss it over there. We'll discuss it over there. I have no problem talking to your wife over there. Please come out. Yeah, you can follow us. We're going to access. Come on. All right, well, then, we're trying to do it right. Then please come out. I'll give you the opportunity to come out. Here's the warrant if you want it. You can have it. Here's the warrant. There you go.
It doesn't make a difference that he has a court appearance right now. That's where he's going to get detained. I know, but that's what they told him to go in there to detain himself. Because he's self-deporting. He's not. Hey, Justin, don't fight. Just let him. He's coming out. Let him say goodbye. Hey, it's okay. No, he's not fighting, guys. He's not fighting. He's gonna go. He's just trying to say bye. It's the last few seconds, bro. Just give him a few seconds if you guys don't mind.
All right, hug your mom. Let's go.
Hey, Neff. You're gonna make it worse. Dude.
No,
trust me, Neff. I know. You're gonna make it worse. Justin, hey, you with Christ, bro. You with Christ, dog. Hey, please. I know. It's okay. He's in God's hands now. It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Justin.
Everything by the book.
Justin, I know, bro.
By the book.
Justin.
I've been very compliant. You know that.
Justin, this is the last.
You know that.
Justin.
My phone. Let me put my phone in my pocket.
Justin, I know, bro. I know. Look, hey, you're in Christ's hands now, bro.
Go ahead and give him a hug.
Justin, you're not in no one's hands anymore, bro. You're in Christ's hands, man. Alright, come on.
Ma'am, please.
It's okay, Justin. Mom, please. Please. I know. Come on, please. Hey, Justin, you're all right, bro. You're all right, Justin. Hey, we prepared for this, bro. It's all right. I got it. Thank you. It's okay. I think it's that big gray one, bro.
Gray one?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get it to him.
Thanks,
He's going to be on Santa Ana. I told her...
yeah, like I said, the thing is that he was supposed to... We're literally going to the courtroom. That's why it's like, dude, like, you know, what's going on? Because they were supposed to deport him.
He was supposed to come yesterday.
No, they told him on the 9th, he has a case going on. So they told him no.
Of the ticket.
We have the passport.
Right.
That we have.
And we have the ticket, and we can send you.
May I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we will have an officer meet you at the airport with the passport so that he can board the plane. We have the passport. Okay. The thing is, in order for us to confirm that we have an officer available for that day to go meet you with the passport, we need confirmation.
Oh.
So tomorrow we will need you to come in.
Can I? No.
Copy of it.
Can I show you the confirmation right now?
No, we need the actual paperwork because that needs to be forwarded to other people. So you need to bring it in tomorrow. We already have the passport, and then we will let you know tomorrow what officer is going to meet you at the airport.
Then,
Okay,
hold on. Then can I? So this is an agreement that if I go in tomorrow, that I will not be detained. That I can meet the
Tomorrow
officer.
you're coming in to show us that we don't have officers here.
Okay, so that's my understanding. I'm coming in tomorrow, not to be detained.
To bring us the paperwork, we just need the confirmation so that we can forward it to the correct officer, so that they can tell you what officer is going to meet you at the airport.
This is an urgent message for all Asian Americans. I need you guys to stop what this is doing. This is going to be a long one, but I need you guys to pay attention. As you can probably see already, the entire country is slowly going into turmoil and chaos. And if you have been paying close enough attention, you will also come to the realization that people are choosing sides. More specifically, Black, brown, and indigenous people are siding with each other. However, you also may come to the realization that you don't see yourself being included into this conversation or the scenario. I recently saw this video by an Asian man talking about how he feels excluded from the scenario and the conversations held by Black, brown, and indigenous people. And even though I understand his frustration, I understand why my people do not feel the need to include Asian people. And that's because many Black Americans believe that Asian Americans has benefited off the model minority myth and whiteness. That and the heavily engraved anti-Blackness and obsession over whiteness in the Asian community, not to mention the poor performance during the election. And despite my best efforts to show them and you that Asian Americans are actually the second largest race to vote for the Democratic Party, it wasn't enough. And for most of us, we understand the reasoning. It's because the older generation of the Asian community did not receive an education here in the United States to understand the graphic details of how important this actually is. When in fact, it was their kids who received an education in the first place, which is why they tend to lean more left. It's because they're aware of history and have an education in the United States. But despite statistics and information, this doesn't automatically disprove everything. Even in the younger generation, there's still enough anti-Blackness and obsession over whiteness. Asian community, you really need to get your stuff figured out as soon as possible. In fact, I truly believe that the Asian community is more likely to destroy themselves before the Triple K, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and any other racist white person even have the chance to do so. What Black people and other people of color, besides Asian people, of course, do not understand is that the Asian community within itself doesn't really like each other either. Anti-Blackness is only one of the issues the Asian community has, when a lot of people in the Asian community are actually very racist and hateful towards each other. I'm not a rookie when it comes to history and knowledge. I'm very well educated on history. Chinese and Korean people do not like Japanese people because of the millions that they killed in their countries. It left generational trauma for years to come, and Japanese people don't really like Chinese or Koreans either. And Koreans, I'm using this very loosely because I'm not entirely sure if it's changed, but they don't really like Southeast Asian people either. Vietnamese people do not like Chinese people because of the 1,000 years of colonization. Chinese people don't really like Vietnamese people either, so go figure. Vietnamese and Cambodians don't really like each other because about 50, 60 years ago, they were duking it out with one another, and now they're having an infinite conversation of who was right and who was wrong. Mongolians don't really like Chinese people don't really like Mongolians, and Kazakhs don't like Mongolians either. Taiwanese, mostly in the younger generation, don't really want to deal with China or Chinese people. And a lot of Chinese people still feel that Taiwanese people are Chinese, and that pisses Taiwanese people off. So not all, in general, Asian communities have intense anti-Blackness within their communities, but they're also very hateful towards one another because their beauty standards, their culture, their history all clashes with one another. So when you have the model minority myth that was created to pit Asians against Black people because they understood that during the civil rights movement, if Black and Asian people united, it will cause a major problem for the people in power and for white supremacy. So when you convince them to become the model minority, you might as well go a step further and convince them to be obsessed over whiteness, something they would never get. They will feed tits and taps a bits of white acceptance to East Asians, but never to Southeast Asians, which causes a further divide between East Asians and Southeast Asian people. Oh, and South Asian, because Indians and Lebanese, etc. are also Asian. So if you put the entire Asian community in this massive, unfortunate predicament, they will undoubtedly not only hate each other, but hate Black people. So it prevents Asian Americans from having a solidarity with Black and brown people. But they will destroy themselves little by little while simultaneously fighting for white validation they will never receive. In conclusion, Asian people need to figure out where they stand within these next 4 years, because I promise you, if you do not figure it out soon, your own demise will follow you. Your own demise will eventually keep up to you. I'm trying to help y'all because I don't see anybody else that isn't Asian telling you this. To the Asian American community, if you do not figure this out before the white supremacy catches up to you, you will eventually destroy yourself. I have been calling this, I've been saying this for 4 years now. Remember that college DI situation several months back and how the Asian statistic was drastically dropping compared to the Black, which looks like it barely moved? It is not because Black people are less smart and they're just giving us a pass. People suddenly realized that Asian people in general being smart was nothing but a stereotype. Go figure, I've been known this. A lot of these DEIs happen to be Asian people and they were eventually removed. In some races, Asian people was like, what? Black people are actually smart? Oh, duh. And I also recall that Washington Post back in 2020 and 2021 calling East Asians specifically white, completely disregarding Southeast Asians and South Asians to piss off. Once again, further proof that they're trying to divide the Asian community entirely. Also in 2020 and 2021, our white leaders, including Orange Man, was sparking anti-Asian sentiment, causing anti-Asian hate crimes all over the country. And now here we are again in 2024, and this part I'm stumped on because Asian Americans are second to Latinos when it comes to being an immense part of immigration. And a lot of you are silent, which blows my mind. Silence isn't going to save you. Not to mention, the government recently passed a bill to fund $1.2 billion worth of anti-Chinese propaganda. Where do you think that puts you? So not all of you are silent, but a lot of you are also included into this immigration policy. I am sure there's a lot of you who has chosen solidarity with black and brown people, but there's also a lot of you who is too afraid to do so. It could be for multiple things: your sacrifice over whiteness, or maybe your parents, or maybe you're just secretly racist. But regardless, time is running out. Asian people do not have a lot of time. Black people are already joining together, and they are convinced they will make it out on top by the end of this. And so far, they are siding with Latinos and indigenous people. And as much as I want Asian people to join us, I have to take a step back and realize there's a lot of them who won't even consider that option. But we don't know who that is. I know there are millions of them who will side with us, but I also know there are other millions of Asian people who wouldn't dare to do so. I feel like I needed to make this video because time is really running out for you guys, and I'm trying to do y'all a favor. I'm trying to encourage y'all. I'm trying to hope you guys are waking up to see it for what it actually is, but time is of the essence. This country never cared about you. You was nothing but a pawn, and you was nothing but a tool. Please, open your eyes. Good luck.
My parents, my grandparents, they did it the right way. They did it legally. This fight isn't my fight because we did it the right way. If you're a young East Asian American person and you fix your mouth to say something like that, then that tells me you really don't know the first thing about your own history. And this whole idea of they did it legally, do you understand that there used to be a time where we couldn't, people like us couldn't do it legally. We were prohibited, we were restricted from even being here. The Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882 made it so that people from China and other parts of Asia were not even allowed to enter this country. They couldn't work here and they couldn't live here. So legally wasn't even an option. And then if you say something like, well, I'm here legally, so I'm safe, I'm protected. Need I remind you that in 1942, 120,000 Japanese and other Asian Americans were scooped up out of their lives from their homes and taken to internment camps. Some as close to Los Angeles as Santa Anita. And these were US citizens, second, third, fourth generation Americans, people who had served in the US military, teachers, doctors, professionals, taken out of their lives, stripped of all of their belongings, put in camps. People in my father's generation. American citizens that look just like us. And because you're a US citizen, you think that these civil rights of yours are protected. Where do you think these civil rights that you enjoy so much, where do you think they came from? How do you think you got them? By the good graces of the US government? No. It was because of black people and the civil rights movement. Civil rights movement spearheaded by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led to the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The act effectively outlawed discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. The spirit of the civil rights movement, because we basically learned how to protest and fight for our rights from the black civil rights movement. Because of that, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 helped to lead to the passage of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. And that removed the quota system and opened up immigration to those who were highly skilled, and that's important to remember, I'm going to get back to that in just a second, or had existing familial relationships in the US. 10 years after the signing, the Asian immigration population doubled, and to this day has shaped the diversity of our country. But let's get back to this real quick, because this is important. I'm hearing so many young Asian American, East Asians specifically, saying things like, well, you know, my parents came here and they worked hard and they made a life for themselves, and that's why we are so successful in this country, and that's why, you know, we make so much money and we're all so highly educated. And true as that may be, because yes, they do work hard, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that. But it wasn't just hard work alone. In order to be here, our parents and grandparents had to apply. And those applications contained things like their level of education and their skills. So they were hand selected. It wasn't just whoever wanted to come could come. They were hand selected to be here. And guess who they chose? They chose people with skills like doctors or accountants or engineers or people like my father who were architects. So that's really important. It's something that you should factor in when you say things like that, because our parents and grandparents, they came here with a leg up. They came here with an advantage. And there's so many immigrants that come here that don't. And not only do they not have an advantage, they are at a complete and total disadvantage. They are escaping things like human trafficking, like drug cartels, like war, like, you know, poverty. And a lot of them don't have any money. They don't have an education. But you know what they do want? They want the same thing that our parents and our grandparents wanted. And that is a life. That is a life for them and for their children. So go back to that. Go back to that ideal, because that's something you seem to understand. Our parents and grandparents came here because they wanted a better life. Well, so do they. But things like legality and advantages aren't always on their side like it may have been for us. Because we didn't come by it on our own, and they shouldn't have to either.
You don't need to fit into America. America was never built for you to fit in. And honestly, it will never fully accept you trying to fit in either. A lot of Chinese students come here with a test-taking mindset. We treat America like it's an exam. We study it, analyze it, try to become the perfect answer. We change our names, speak broken English on purpose, even act like we're second-gen Asian American, when we're not. But here's the truth. America doesn't reward people who blend in. It respects people who build their own space. Someone who leads and not follow. Look at the other groups, Irish, Italians, Jews, Russians, Indians. They don't try to erase the culture to fit in. They build strong communities, support each other, protect their identity, and claim their power. That's why they have their own neighborhoods, their own resources, and even political influence. Meanwhile, so many Chinese students and scholars try to wash themselves, erase their culture, speak only English, act like they belong here more than they actually do. But in the end, they still get called chic on the street. Why? Because they never learn to build their own space. They only learn to assimilate into someone else's. Here's what people don't tell you. In America, even if you're weak, you have to act strong. Fake it till you make it is real. This place respects confidence, even if it's fake. If you walk in soft-spoken, overly humble, always apologizing, people won't think you're kind. They'll think you're easy to ignore. So no, don't try to find your place. Make your place. Don't wait for permission. Don't beg to be included. Create your own room, build your own rules, and let others fit into your world. That's how you survive and thrive here.
Ajma here, reading the news that there are potentially up to 150,000 Koreans in the U.S. That are vulnerable and potentially a target for deportation. And that includes adoptees. I would very much like off this timeline, but we're going to do what we can to be prepared and to be kind and to not panic. And no matter what, we shall be kind, and we shall try to do our best to do everything that is right with the universe. The arc of justice is very, very long.
It'd really be your own people and something. I lived in LA for 4 years now, and what's happening with the ICE raids, the fear, the silence, especially from those within the Asian American community, has been really weighing heavily on my heart. I grew up in Queens, New York, around large Latino and Hispanic communities, and I've witnessed firsthand how deeply connected our communities are. A lot of Asian-owned businesses often rely on the labor of undocumented workers, often quietly, without any acknowledgement. Now, when the same people are being targeted, the silence is loud, it's painful. We come from immigrant families. We know what fear looks like, and we know what sacrifice looks like. And yet so many of us turn a blind eye when others are being targeted for the very reasons we're here. To those who are affected, I don't know what to say. I am truly sorry. You deserve to feel safe, and you deserve to be seen. And to influencers, this moment calls for more than just posts about hidden gems in LA and food spots. If we love the city and its people, we need to show up for them too. If you have the privilege to post about where to shop in LA, then you have the power to say this isn't right. That is not political, that is just being human. I am not trying to call people out just to create noise. I am saying this because I care. This isn't about blame, it's about showing up. Speaking up doesn't require a perfect statement. It's honestly just about heart and showing compassion. And if you have a platform, even a small one like mine, it does matter.
Welcome back to
Be the voice for those who
where
can't.
we spill things you hardly see on a regular day, right? So this one is about the Asian American people. They were all around social media saying that they can't be deported. A lot of them claim they're citizens, while so many of them have reportedly not gotten any citizen. In fact, a lot of them were illegals. They had a town in America called Chinatown, and so many Chinese in that place, Asians, are all illegals. And they still keep bragging that because of their skin color, that these deportations and what have you is not going to affect them. And so for that, when people were protesting, they don't come out. They don't join in doing anything. And right now, they're really cut off. A lot of them are crying out and regretting why they didn't even join. So many of them on social media, they were saying they know they can't, nothing's going to, in fact, they were claiming they were untouchable, especially the Chinese, Koreans, and all of that. They were claiming they are untouchables, they cited their reasons. But trust me, this administration does not give a damn about you. It does not give a damn about your color. All they want to do is get people out of their country, and that is exactly what they're doing, you guys. Please, you're going to watch those videos, and then I'll come back with the commentaries.
Where the fuck are all the Asians? The thousands of Asians in LA either wanting to be an influencer in TikTok or are influencers on TikTok that have hundreds or tens of thousands or millions of followers. Like, you can't put down your fucking matcha for like literally 2 seconds and speak out about what's happening right now. I go on fucking TikTok, it's the same 4 like wonderful activist Asians on here. But then everybody else just still, oh, regularly scheduled program, my outfit of the day, going to another fucking Korean barbecue restaurant. Like, the restaurant you're at is built on immigrants. This entire city is built on immigrants. Like, you went to fucking UC Irvine, you got your fucking marketing degree. I'm sure you took one humanities class, honey. Like, I promise you, if you just don't post one TikTok dance and you take 30 seconds to speak on children getting ripped away from an elementary school graduation, people being locked in the basement of federal buildings without food or water, the National Guard being deployed on your city. Like, I know that, like, shame doesn't work on you. Like, nothing works on you because you've had to create this shell. But, like, your $600 post that you're making for tummy tea is not going to save you here. You're scared of, like, oh, your brand getting tainted, or, like, you won't be able to get brand deals. Like, with the rate that information suppression is going, like, you won't have TikTok to fucking sell your fucking boba flavored protein powder on here. Like, you won't have the time. You won't have the platform to do so. Like, your parents or your grandparents came here for a better life. And then now that you have a better life, you've already fucking forgotten the context as to which you fucking exist in this realm. Like, you don't have to be a civil rights expert or an econ expert or a fucking, like, lawyer to understand that what is happening needs to be stood up against. Like, you are the people that are populating the Capitol right now. Like, you will be next. Like, with black folk, they weaponize the police. With brown folk, they weaponize immigration. With Asian folk, they weaponize legislation. So the clock is ticking, sweetie. The clock is TikTok in a way. I don't give a fuck if you feel awkward about speaking something, or I don't give a fuck if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I've never spoken about this before, or whatever. It's not too late. It's not too late. I promise to you, it's not too late to listen to that tiny voice in the back of your head. I've been on this fucking app for 2.5, almost 3 months. That's all. But it's not that fucking hard. You open the app and you do the thing. You don't have to fucking edit it. You can just say it fucking non sequitur and just speak from your fucking tiny, shriveled, but beating heart. Please. I just fucking beg you.
I know I've been posting a lot about the deporting situation, and you know, my mom, like, yesterday, she told me, hey son, you should probably not speak too much on this topic because it might cause a problem for us. That's the exact reason why this is a problem. Whenever there's a problem, Asian people go, oh my God, and nothing changes. That's probably the biggest thing that pisses me off about Asian people. You realize the current situation is literally a crime against humanity. Look, I think 70 to 80, 90% of us can agree that if they take illegal immigrants that commit crimes or whatever, look, that's whatever, okay? But they're stripping people of citizenships, and they're also taking people that are citizens. So what the hell does that mean for me? I was born here as a citizen. I can't imagine my mom or my sister, or think about it, like you're a close family member, imagine they just get taken for whatever good reason. And at this rate, they're not even finding a good reason. You know what they're doing? Oh, he's brown, let me take him. Oh, he's yellow, let me take him. That's literally what's going on. So that's why we're in this crisis of literal, you know, ethnic cleansing, if you want to think about it that way. And I'm not exempt because I'm Korean. And then all the Asian influencers watching right now, stop posting about your, oh, here's my favorite boba, or like, oh, here's my get ready with me. No one cares. And at least talk about the topic first to show that you're a human. And then you can start posting about your freaking stupid get ready with me. Oh, here's my favorite boba. Nobody cares about that right now. So at least address the issue, and then you can stroll on with your life. You'll probably gain a lot more followers that way. And who am I to say this when I only have 2,000 followers? Yeah, I know you're probably thinking that, but guess what? There's a lot of things that happens behind the scenes, and I've seen tremendous growth. Thank you guys so much for hearing me out and sharing my content. I appreciate you guys. It's time to go to the Ignacio. Let's go.
So I'm actually seeing the topic on why Asians don't speak up when it comes to a protest or speaking up for our rights. Because they honestly do not think they're a minority. A lot of Asians live under that whitewashed world. And that comes from me speaking from experience. As a Vietnamese woman with black kids, I've heard every racial slur there is. Why are you with a black man? Your kids are gonna be dark. Your kids are gonna be like charcoal. Majority of Asian people are Trump supporters. They don't speak up, they don't fight, they don't speak on the situation, they don't even like talking about the situation. And when they do, they sound stupid and ignorant. They don't like doing that because in their mind, they're white. Majority of Asians feel the whiter the skin, the better. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. That's why they don't speak up. That's why they don't make a scene when it comes to fighting for our rights. Because they think this is not going to affect them. As if 12 Vietnamese nail techs just didn't get deported because they're illegal immigrants. So let's be clear on why this is happening. and who it's happening to, because it's just not Mexicans, okay?
For any Asian people who are selfish as fuck and are not standing in solidarity to Hispanic people over ICE immigration, just remember you're next, and you are not that different from them. You know, all your excuses of, it doesn't have anything to do with me, I mean, I'm legal and stuff, they don't care. You're gonna be targeted, because keep in mind, you're not white. The system never will see you as white. They see you also as an immigrant. Guess what? After Hispanic people get deported, who's also going to be deported? Asian people. You're not safe from it. You're not white. They're not going to target white immigrants, and they can't target really black people because, for a lot of reasons, honestly. So they're going to target you. You're not safe because you perpetuate racism towards other groups all the time. No, you are just as likely to be a target as any Hispanic person, honestly. Like, I fear you should care.
Now, I'm seeing this question pop up a lot. Why is the Asian community so quiet on the ICE raid topic? Now, I'm not speaking for all Asian people, but this is just my point of view. My family's from Laos. My parents spent years in refugee camps before being able to come here legally. So a lot of us from a very young age was taught accountability. You know, we were getting lectures after lectures after lectures on doing the right thing, getting our ass beat for doing wrong things. So there are a lot of Asian people that are for deportations of, illegals. And not everybody, okay? Not all Asian people are for it, but I see most of us are. And we understand why you want to come here illegally and skip the process. People just want to live good lives, do better for themselves. But there is a right way of doing things. So if you do come here illegally and get caught, you need to take accountability for your actions. That's why a lot of times if you see an Asian person get deported, we don't make a big fuss about it because, they got to take accountability for their actions. And they know that. We don't have hate towards law enforcement because, they're just doing their part. They're just doing their jobs because they didn't do their part. And we do feel terrible about, or at least I do feel terrible about, families being ripped apart. But, they know the risk involved and they were willing to take that risk. Again, you got to take accountability. And a lot of people refer Asians as, model immigrants because, we are here to better ourselves, get an education, respect law and order. We just don't want any trouble. Like, we want peaceful lives. And so if we do get in trouble for something that we did, then we own up to it. That's it. So my heart does go out to the families of the deported. Hopefully they can find their way back, hopefully legal, so that they may, live peaceful lives. I wish y'all.
So many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all these deportation things. What is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals.
Sir, you look like the immigration issue you're ranting about. So the projection is wild because you look very illegal.
Asian people aren't really dependent on, migrant labor.
The loss of immigrants has the potential for a full economic collapse because of significant GDP reduction, labor shortages, increased prices, reduced consumer spending and demand, and billions lost in tax revenue. An economic collapse affects everyone. Immigrants make this country thrive.
This presidency promised that they would deport illegal immigrants. They're doing that. Why are you crying? You see it like these immigrants are waving the flags of other countries, burning down the flag of the U.S., and then you think Asian people want to support that? No, they want to stay away from that. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. Asian people don't want to focus on the negativity and, say what they're really thinking. Deport, right? Deport illegal immigrants.
He is the embodiment of the model minority, which was created to pit Asians against other marginalized groups, rewarding obedience, silence, and hard work with crumbs of white approval. And he ate that up. Tap dancing for people who don't even want you here. No matter how hard you try to prove you hate yourself more than they ever could, and try so hard to distance yourself from the very people who fought for the rights that you now leech off of. You can grovel all you want for white validation, but you'll never earn validation from the same people who call you Kung Flu and China virus. Remember that? Kung Flu and China virus? You are not native. So how do you think it is that you were able to come to the United States? You think it was the whites who just kindly handed you an invite into our country out of the kindness of their heart? No, you got here because black and brown people far braver than you bled in the streets. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 made it possible for you to live your American dream as the oppressor's lapdog.
you're welcome. The people brave enough to fight out in the streets are the same people keeping you here. That fight going on right now is again a fight that you will benefit from, just so that you can parade around like you earned those rights when you have never fought for anything in your weak little existence. Not your people, not your dignity, not even yourself. But be careful, because if they deport all of the people who fight for our rights, you might find yourself in an internment camp, because who's going to fight for you? You don't even fight for yourself.
They are now deporting Asians. Please, y'all, stay at home. It's just not one group of people now, and it's never just been one group of people, by the way. It's not just dark-skinned people like Africans, Jamaicans, Caribbeans, and then they moved on to Latinos and Mexicans. It's now Asians, okay? You guys did a really great job marching out there. I was cheering you guys on. But I'm going to tell you like this. I don't think no one should go out there anymore. They up to some real sneaky stuff. Can't talk about it just yet. But look, stay at home, protect your families. That's it. Stay at home. I don't think it matters how much marching and talking we do. He said he was going to do what he's going to do, and he's been doing what he wants to do. No one's stopping him, and no one's going to stop him. You know why? Because they want to change. And this man claims he's making a change. He's doing something that none of the presidents ever had guts to do. And I'm saying it that way because that's how they look at it. Yeah. See, this man, I think, has lost his marbles. But there's no proof of that yet. But he's doing what he wants to do. And ain't nothing none of us could do about it. Ain't none of us safe, y'all. Stay at home. Protect your families. God bless. And keep in mind that they're monitoring stuff. So please, just look. Stay close to your families. Protect your families. All right? Because there's some other little... I'll do another update. Bye.
As an Asian American, I'm extremely disappointed to see the lack of Asian and Asian American creators speaking out about what's happening with ICE, the deportations, and especially in California. As someone that was born and raised and has lived in California my entire life, I have the extreme privilege and sense of safety that comes with being a natural born citizen. I'm also Chinese American, and my grandparents immigrated from their respective countries. On my Japanese side, my grandfather put a lot of time and effort and care into building his own business in Washington. When the internment camps started happening, all of his efforts to help support my family, to give them a happy, healthy, safe life, and to give them opportunities, all of those efforts were ultimately disregarded, disrespected, and dehumanized when he was sent to an internment camp. And after the internment camps, he was never given any of that back. He had to work again to build a safe life for my family. The internment camps are a proof of a concept where our Asian communities are not safe. And Trump actually has been targeting Asian communities for deportation, particularly Southeast Asian communities. As Asian Americans, we have a unique perspective on what's going on because our families and our communities have also faced brutalization, have been targeted, we face discrimination, we face racism, and we know what it's like to be denied opportunity just because of what we look like or where we or our families come from. And if you're like me and you have the privilege to be a natural born citizen, I strongly urge you to use your empathy, your perspective, your experiences in your family, to use your voice to find out how you can support your local communities and keep your eyes and ears open to what's going on. Watch the news, share resources, understand and educate yourself on what to do if you witness an ICE deportation, if ICE ever comes to your house hoping to deport you or one of your family members, and to not fall victim to bystander effect or letting yourself not say anything because it's the easier thing to do. I hope that this can be a wake-up call for my fellow Asian Americans that you cannot be complicit in what's going on right now. What's happening is even if it's not affecting your direct immediate family, is going to affect your community and is affecting your local communities. I'm not even a content creator. I'm not even a small one. I barely even make content. And I know it can be easy to get worried about saying the right thing, doing the right thing, showing up in the right way. But at this point, all that matters is that you're using your voice in some way and raising awareness about what's going on. This is not a political or legal issue. This is a human issue.
Wow, that's a lot. I had to watch these videos one after the other, and I'm like, wow. One thing about this particular government, I'll tell you, this Trump's government is, you never say never. Expect anything at any time. That's just the truth. Expect anything at any time. This particular president has said he wants to make America great. And it's literally going for people that tried their best to make sure they put him in office. Some of them actually did that because of their faith. They felt, oh, since we're all Christian, this man is also a Christian. At some point during his campaign, he said he has given his life to Christ. I think that was after the gunshot-ish. Yeah. He said he's given his life to Christ and all of that. He's trying to make America a Christian nation where Bibles will be everywhere in schools and all of that. You won't even believe that even in all these detention centers, there's no Bible anywhere. There's no water. There's no food. Does the Bible even tell us to punish people without food and water? This is not Christianity anymore. This is pure tyranny and narcissistic. If you ask me, that's what I'll say. Because how do you even explain this? People are taken into custody in some form of, kidnaps. Yeah. Initially, they were actually in detention, but right now it feels like kidnap. You just go out and then you're kidnapped and you're taken back. In fact, it's crazy to see, spouses, just watching their husband taken away from them like this in the middle of the day, and they're just left without anything, with the children just stranded. And a lot of them are actually stay-at-home moms who actually believes and in caring and keeping the family while their husbands are out there to make a living for the family. But these things, they're cut off. This is really, really alarming. And right now, those Asian Americans are regretting. Some of them said if they had known, they would have actually joined the blacks to even protest. It would have maybe given them a sense of, but right now, it's crazy. Even with your passports, you're not safe, you guys. So I'm going to stop here. I want to see your comment. What do you think are your experiences? Are they supposed to go? Are you in support of Asians actually living in America this way? And to be honest, the most painful thing I didn't even talk about is a lot of them are being deported to some African countries like Libya. No, Libya is Europe, Sudan and all of that, where these people have never been to. In fact, Libya is even the worst. Some of them are being shipped to Libya. Imagine how Libyans are very, very brutal people. You send people like that to them, they are going to useless you. They are going to deal with you. Those people don't like foreigners at all. Those are the places these guys are being sent to. It's crazy. So guys, I'll see you on the next one. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share. I'm your friend and your favorite girl on the app. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.